Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs podcast. Andy, we're on season 6, episode number 3. It's Thanksgiving Eve, Andy.
Yes. Thanksgiving weekend here. Everybody, good time to catch up on past episodes as you're traveling back and forth this weekend.
We have the full archive out there to listen to. Tonight's the Songs edition. We're going to do an album review, but we're also going to cover other musical topics as always.
Yes.
Well,
Birthdays and some history and stuff to go over. So
we always like to educate with some history and things like
that's
that.
why we're here.
Now, Andy, we've never done any Pearl Jam in the 5 complete years we've done this. We're going to cover.
Weird.
We're going to do the 7th studio album tonight, Riot Act.
Nice.
Riot Act. So we could have picked a popular one that gets all the attention, all the love, but Riot Act really wasn't that. But I think that'd be a good topic for tonight's show. It's their 7th studio album by American rock band, released November 2002. So 22 years ago, this was released, and they took after doing a full-scale tour in support of their previous album, they took a year-long break. So the year was 2000. They started getting back into the album to record in 2001. 9/11 hit. All these things were going on. They wanted to get some time off, and so the music on this album it says here on Wikipedia that it's diverse. Their songs influenced by art rock, experimental rock, folk. Lyrics deal with mortality and existentialism. So just to cover the bases here, they put a lot of time and energy into their first 6 albums. I don't want to say that it's compiled of B-sides and whatnot, but they just experimented with some different things here, and it wasn't anyone's favorite album. It only went gold. And they did bring in a new drummer. Matt Cameron came on.
Yep.
And Cameron worked with Adam Casper, the producer, back in Soundgarden and the previous band called Wellwater Conspiracy. They knew of him back then. He came on board, and I'm a big Matt Cameron fan, so I do like the drumming on this from him. The studio they used was Studio X in Seattle, and this album is considered alternative rock for the genre and art rock. Now, I've never heard of that, Andy. What's art rock?
I don't know.
Good. I'm glad you said that, because I am not familiar with it either. I think it's very artistic, but they're trying things. They're experimenting with things.
It's not alternative. It's something. It's a form of it.
It's not like a concept album. It's musically, I like it. I mean, the music is very good, but it's not one that you're going to go out and buy. Not one that you're going to put it in and press play and just let it play all the way through. It's very different. So let's get into the tracks. The tracks.
All right.
Now we'll have some comments. We'll have some opinions on this, Andy, as we always do. But there's 15 songs. I mean, this is a 54-minute album. I'm not a big fan. It's produced on Epic. It's Epic label. First song is Can't Keep. Next song is Save You. Next song is Love Boat Captain. Next one is Crop Duster. And I don't think that's anything to do with the Flash.
Not what Grandpa always said crop dusting was?
Yes. The song 5 is Ghost. That's a pretty good song. Song 6 is I Am Mine. Song 7 is Thumbing My Way. That's a hitchhiking song. Next song is You Are. Next song is Get Right. Next song is Green Disease. This is an Eddie Vedder song, kind of talking about greed. Green Disease is the song there. Next song is Help, Help. Next song is Bush Leaguer. It's a Stone Gossard song. Gossard is on the vocals along with Vedder. It's kind of an anti-George Bush, President Bush song. If you look at the lyrics there, it's called Bush Leaguer. One of the lyrics we'll like as a sports band, as a sports podcast, is at one point it says, just because you're standing on third base doesn't mean you got a triple. But many people, he's claiming in George Bush, in his case, that, hey, I got a triple in life because I'm on third base. No, you got there for other reasons. So they kind of go after President Bush. The next song is Half Full. Next song is Arc, A-R-C, Arc. It's 1 minute and 5 seconds. So not really a song, but it's and then it finishes out with the song All or None. 54 minutes, 15 seconds, 15 songs. Andy, what's your thoughts on that?
15 songs is kind of long, but not really. I mean, they do kind of mix it up good, so it didn't feel like a long, like, oh my gosh, it's album over yet. They do keep it fresh when they bop around. Um, they've always had decent lyrics to their songs, you know. They were good songs. And like I said earlier, this one didn't do good in sales. Kind of like last week we did Flick of the Switch by AC/DC.
Yes.
Only this one didn't get pumped up right away, but it's still just one of those where the bands have said, screw it, we're doing songs we like. We don't care what the producers say or the executives or the record company. We want to do these songs. Yeah, they're good, but we're not going to sit there and tweak them and make them radio friendly and this and that. Here's our songs. So this was album, and I want this is for the diehard fan.
Yep. And once again, a lot of great comment section on YouTube for each of these songs because a lot of the hardcore fans love and adore this album. Lots of good songs on there. It was after the 9/11 attacks. Also, there was the crowd, the 9 fans that died at that outdoor show. What was that called? That was the Roskilde Festival in 2000.
Yep,
those fans died at a Pearl Jam show. Those nine fans. So they were taken aback because with all of that, and they wrote some songs dealing with some of the lyrics of those and dealing with, finding out people that came to your show actually were killed at your concert. So very tough thing. One of the songs that didn't make it, Andy, is a song was left off the track. It later appeared on another album called Lost Dogs, but the song 42002, yes, the date 420, not the pot, not the weed reference of 420, but 42002. That was April 20th. Eddie Vedder wrote the song the day he found out that Lane Staley died.
Okay.
So Lane Staley died before that. Eddie Vedder found out, a little later, and he found out and wrote the song on 420. That's when he found out that he died. And so very good lyrics. I thought that one was an impactful in the Seattle sound scene. But they said, you know what, we've got 15 songs and let's scrap that one. So they scrapped it, put it on the album Lost Dogs, albeit it's in the form of a hidden track. Yeah. And so if you have the album Lost Dogs, go to that hidden track because that's a pretty good song, I think. I listened to that, but interesting, I thought. We always learn new things here. And the album
That's why we're here to educate.
The album cover, we'll get into that. But
I like that cover.
You do? Okay.
I do. I just looking at it, kind of. I like that.
It's good stuff. We'll get to that because it comes into one of the members of the band actually took that photograph. So Eddie Vedder, of course, lead vocals. Jeff Ament, bass. Ament took that photograph and did some of the artistic artwork for various albums. I don't know if I did that, but he did the inside photos on the sleeve, and the cover photo was Jeff Ament. Matt Cameron on drums for the first album for him. Always very good stuff. And he had some writing credits on the music for this album that are very good songs. If you listen to the songs that Matt Cameron did, very different than the others, but he's a talented man. And then we got Stone Gossard on rhythm, Mike McCready on lead. And now, Andy, the thing that I got out of this, listening to this album, is whether you like Pearl Jam or not, or Eddie Vedder's voice or not, the McCready guitar work is, you almost have to listen to it one time all the way through, just listening to the McCready tracks.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. The talent that guy has. And so, like I said, Jeff Ament, the photo on the front, it's meant to look like, I guess it was never official, but skeletons there with a crowns on their head made to look like a king and a queen that died, for instance. And, you kind of make what you want of it. They had a hard time coming up with the album name, so they called it Riot Act. They didn't know really what to call this album, what to name it, or even what the cover of the photo should be. So they said, let's put this on the cover. And that's what I mean by, as far as this album's kind of all over the board when you listen to it. It doesn't flow. It's been criticized because there's no natural flow to the album. But then again, that being said, it's still a good worthwhile
See, that's what I meant when I said there's 15 songs on there. It didn't feel like songs because it didn't flow, or it was a same old, same old. It felt like it was the radio and
It
15
jumped
different
around.
songs came up.
Yeah, the song Love Boat Captain is very good. That includes a brief lyrical reference to the 9 that were killed in that stampede at the outdoor concert. And it says the lyrics go, "Lost 9 friends will never know 2 years ago today." So he wrote that lyric 2 years ago after the event. And wow, there's been a lot of mortality, he says. It's a weird time to be writing. And the Roskilde event changed the shape of us as people and our filter for seeing the world change. So I would say it's a serious album. They're dealing with some serious topics. It's not, fun and games and laughter. It's not a David Lee Roth album. It's not a Van Halen fun stuff. It's got some serious topics that they're dealing with, but they've been around for a while. So I don't mind that they took an album essentially off and just says, "Hey, let's throw this together out there." The songs are all composed good. The recording is still good. The song All or None. Here, let me look this up here. I'm going to double check one thing. Here's the songs they released. I Am Mine was their first song in October 2002. I Am Mine was released as a single. Save You was released as a single. And Love Boat Captain released. That's a song about the 9 the deaths. The other song is All or None, which is good. Experienced a huge surge in popularity after it was included in the TV series Left Behind, the 7th episode called Left Behind of the HBO series The Last of Us. Huge. People, Spotify streams increased over 5,000% in the first 24 hours after the episode's release because people haven't heard it and they were digging in to say, "Hey, who does that song? It's really cool." Oh yeah, it's Pearl Jam. Never released as a single, but that one really took off, Andy. So that's what I've got.
All right. Transition to some other things here. Got some birthdays. We're all about the transitions here.
The segues, yes.
Yes. Kevin. My clicker's not working, Kevin.
PowerPoint is off.
It's Kevin. There we go. Mark Cameron. Hey, what a coincidence. Was raised in San Diego, California. Began playing drums at an early age. At the age of 13, he and some friends formed a band called Kiss, with the word imitation written underneath the name in small print. During this stint, he met Paul Stanley.
Nice.
However, after a letter from management of the band Kiss threatened the boys with legal action if they did not cease their infringement, the band melted away. So happy birthday this Thursday to Matt and his brush with fame there.
That's awesome. So it was like a Kiss cover band, tribute band, but the problem was they used the actual name, even though it was the different font, different style, imitation. But they said the band management from Kiss said no.
Kiss is all about what's in it for us.
Yes.
So, all right. All right, Kevin.
Let's try this.
Let me do this here. Whoops. Jimi Hendrix, born November 27th from Seattle, Washington. See, we're keeping the theme here.
Yes, the cap, too, I have. The Seattle Kraken.
Birth name, Johnny Allen Hendrix, also known as James Marshall Hendrix. Born November 27th of 42 in Seattle. Passed away at the age of 27 in London, England. If anybody knows anything about Jimmy, you can listen to Jimmy, but you can't hear Jimmy.
Love it.
Let's go back in time a little history lesson here now. This week, 1972, Chuck Berry was number one in the UK chart with his song My Ding-a-Ling, his only UK number one. The song was originally recorded by Dave Bartholomew. In 1952, Berry's version was from a concert recorded at a ballroom in England on February 3rd, 1972. Boston radio station WMEX disc jockey Jim Connors was credited with the gold record for discovering the song and pushing it to number one. Now, the reason I bring this up is A, the song is a favorite of the show, but B, you always hear these songs from the 70s or 60s or 50s. A DJ played side B accidentally, or he liked the song and played it anyway. The way everything's on Spotify and iHeart and all this other stuff, and it's all programmed in, you're never going to hear a B-side played like this again. So,
like, Kiss was Beth, right?
Yep,
The B-side. And so the disc jockey started playing that along with some of these other famous stories. We're not going to have those anymore. Those days are under the bridge, water under the bridge.
26th November 2010, Willie Nelson is arrested for possession of 6 ounces of marijuana found on his tour bus. They only found 6 ounces. Pretty sure there was more than that. While traveling from LA to Texas. He was released on bail of $2,500. Prosecutor Kit Brambelt supported non-sentencing Nelson to jail due to the amount of marijuana being small, but suggested a $100 fine and that Nelson perform a song, Blue-Eyed Crying in the Rain, for the court. This reminds me of the old Dukes of Hazzard episodes where Boss Hogg has the fake speed trap and the guy just plays a song at the boar's nest afterwards to get out of it. Same sort of thing here. Willie, they found 6 ounces.
It's good stuff.
Pretty sure
it was the tour bus, so the whole staff was on the bus, but then he's got to be the one to go to jail.
Willie Nelson's friends on a whole bus. I guarantee, as God is my witness, there was more than 6 ounces of marijuana on that bus.
The odds are yes.
All right. Me to me, you deserve these concert tickets. Free Fallin' with Our House, a Crosby, Stills, and Nash tribute. December 7th at Medina. Free Fallin', of course. Tom Petty concert experience. And December 13th, Thunderstruck, AC/DC tribute band. I've seen them once already. Dan and our fan club are going for the show that night. If you don't have your tickets already, get them now.
Friday the 13th. I've never seen it, so this is going to be good. And what you said, Andy, is this group, this AC/DC, is very, very good.
Yeah. Kyle, the guitar guy, the guy who does Angus.
Focus on Angus. It's just unbelievable.
And like I said, Kyle, the guitar guy's Angus. Dave Moody of Hairball used to do the lead singer part for this band. So
okay. Oh, he did.
Yes. Okay. If you look at here, July 23rd, Midsummer Music Festival, Monaga, Minnesota. Friends of the show, Def Legend, coming back.
Yeah, they have fun. They come to the upper Midwest a couple times a year, put on a great show. They're based in Texas, and I think they're based out of Dallas, Texas. Very good. It's the best Def Leppard tribute band there is.
You see, they got Kansas before us, Fargo after that. So they do some Midwest stuff. They take a couple jaunts up this way.
Northern Minnesota.
Your homework assignment for the Songs Edition. Yes, it's a holiday weekend, and Dr. Andy's handing out the homework.
Okay.
Can you listen to Jimmy, but you can't hear Jimmy? Your homework is to listen to some Jimmy this weekend. See if you can hear him.
Jimmy's a wild cat.
That he is. So that's your homework. See if you can hear Jimmy. I know that's a big ask. You got a lot of time in the car traveling this holiday weekend. Can you hear Jimmy?
Jimmy just really it was the 3 studio albums is all that he even did. Now there's tons of live and
highest paid guy at Woodstock. Highest paid guy at Woodstock. Some of the other bands he performed with. Just in his short little life. Military experience, 101st Paratroopers. Bad upbringing coming up. His dad was in the military. Tried to get leave for his son to be born like they usually do. Instead, they threw the old man in the stockade. 3 years later, he gets out. He gets a card while he's in jail. Your son's born. 3 years later, he gets out. Tough time finding a job. So Jimmy did not grow up with a silver spoon in his mouth. And he was like the prodigy guitar. Tough life. Lived it to the fullest. 80-some years old he'd be today. And I'm pretty sure he'd still be popping out music or at least commenting on it or letting people sample his stuff. I would love to have heard the next 20 years after from 70, because he passed away before we were born. Well, before I was born. You're much older than I am.
Wow. I
Wow.
visited his gravesite, his tomb in Seattle, Washington. It's a very cool spot where Jimmy's laid to rest. Wow.
Yep. So what could have been with all the great, every time, oh, Jimmy had this great career. He had 3 albums, you know.
And
So,
basically won a year around it. So it was a 3-year snapshot, and that was it.
Yep. Very,
He's
very
part of that
good man.
27, infamous 27 club. Musical genius. But yes, do that and then get back to us. Leave your comments below and suggestions and any kind of notes you have or questions, leave it in the comment section below.
Any suggestions for albums to do too, let us know. As you know, we're pretty open to everything. So,
all right, have a good weekend. See you back next week.
happy trails.